What's up, squad? It's Alec from Team APS here with my new Red-Eyes deck profile. So as some of you know, Red-Eyes is one of my favorite legacy decks that have come out, and I've been just kind of hurt by how Konami decided to treat this archetype. I know a lot of you feel the same way, but this profile is meant to use the new support that came out in what was that thing called? Dragons of Legend? No, Legendary Duelists. And it revolves around equipping cards and monsters, all kind of nonsense. We're just going to hop right in and get to it. So number one, I start off with triple Red-Eyes B Dragon. And that's because Slash Dragon actually says you have to use him. So, well, there he is. Now, a newcomer to the deck, triple Red-Eyes Baby Dragon. Now, yes, this is the Red-Eyes version of Baby Dragon. It has nothing to do with Thousand Dragon. But what's kind of cool about Baby Dragon is when it's destroyed by battle, it can special summon a level 7 or lower Red-Eyes monster from your deck, and then your Baby Dragon equips itself to that monster. So everyone's like, oh, it's so bad, just a floater, you don't need that. Well, what's cool about him is you can just start your game off, set him, your opponent swings, you can special summon another baby from your deck and then equip him to that baby dragon. And then, let's say your opponent can attack again, they swing. You can then get your other baby dragon and then equip that baby dragon to this baby dragon. So they can float nearly indefinitely, and then, let's say if you know your opponent can't attack again, instead of him, you could make, you can get anybody, any Red-Eyes monster. So it adds a certain amount of like protection to your game, and using Blackstone and Legend, you can kind of keep putting these guys back in your deck, so you can always have some type of defense. Now, triple Black Metal Dragon, he's actually just gotten more useful over time because these new cards, Slash Dragon and even Gearfried, they want to have cards equipped to them. And you know, Metal Dragon has the bonus of increasing their attack and floating when it goes to grave. So now it's kind of like, it's time for it to be the MVP of the deck. It's finally coming to its own. Speaking of our other equip monster, equip card user, we have Gearfried, the Red-Eyes Iron Knight, which should be probably the Red-Eyed Iron Knight, but we're not getting into all of that. But okay, he seems underwhelming on the surface, but he's actually pretty cool. So when he's equipped with a card, he can immediately destroy that card or send it to grave and pop a spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field. But if you don't want to do that, then you can do this whenever. You can just send an equipped card that he is equipped to and special summon a level 7 or lower Red-Eyes monster from your graveyard. So he kind of has a little versatility to him. So like I said before, if you were floating on some... if you're floating on these guys and your opponent swings into them and you know your opponent's not going to swing again, they both go to grave. You can special summon him. This will equip. Now, if your opponent was like, if he had a field spell where he just set something, your Gearfried will immediately pop that monster. And remember, this is actually during the damage step, so they won't be able to respond with a lot of things. So, like, it can be kind of tricky for your opponent to deal with this. You can just neg something off his board real quick. And once his effect activates destroying this baby dragon, the baby dragon will then search out a level 1 dragon to your hand. So you're just gonna keep floating. You can retain advantage even while being kind of crushed by your opponent. That's kind of the goal here. And I'll get more into like another way is useful when we talk about Slash Dragon. Now for more traditional Red-Eyes cards. Yeah, I kind of saved them because he's not as important anymore, is a Red-Eyes Black Flair Dragon. He's really only here because he's a level 7 Red-Eyes. That's the long and short of it. If you get the burn effect, it's cute, but, you know, Slash Dragon only really requires this guy, so, he's a name. Then, Blackstone of Legend, a card that, to me, maybe a few months ago I said isn't as necessary in Red-Eyes anymore. But now that we have Baby Dragon, now you have another reason why you wanna see your Blackstone, because no matter how you open, you want to see Baby Dragon, whether it's just to set it or anything. So with Blacks on the Legend, you can essentially run 5 copies of Baby Dragon, but it lets you start sending your Red Eyes monsters back into your deck, and you'll find if you play like this build, you can run a Red Eyes monsters by the 3rd turn, and you might be kind of SOL. But it just kind of lets you start getting things back into your deck, and it'll save you some time and energy down the road. Now, I do run 1 Red Eyes Impact. Yeah, he's as underwhelming as you think he is, and you know why he's here? It's literally so I can run Comet. And I guess he's a name. Yeah, he's a name. Then, no Red Eyes deck is complete without Red Eyes Metal Dragon, or Darkness Metal Dragon. But he does his thing. He does his thing. He's a Red Eyes name. There are some tricks to get him out to special him from the grave outside of using his banish effect. So he's not bad. Now my hand traps, really simple. 1 Maxx and Ghost Ogre. Maxx is maybe more busted than ever, and Ghost Ogre is just good. On to spells. It wouldn't be a Red Eyes deck without triple Red Eyes Insights. Having the ability to send your Red Eyes to grave to set up your traps and whatnot is beautiful. And then it can search any Red Eyes spell or trap card. That's just a win-win. Speaking of Red Eyes spell or trap cards, triple Red Eyes Fusion, because honestly, these 2 cards are kind of what you want to see in that opening hand. If you don't see this, you want to see this still, and if you see this, you still want to see this. So, and the whole idea of Red Eyes Fusion in this build is if you have something to equip to him, you want to summon him, but if you don't, you want to summon him. Plain and simple. And I'll explain more about that later. Then triple Return of the Dragonlords. It's really just kind of crucial for the deck. You want to resolve this as soon as humanly possible, just so you can have that extra layer of defense in your grave. And hopefully, if you do it early enough, your opponent's going to forget it's even there. And I guess it also enables like Xyz plays if you want to force some stuff. Then on my 2 1-of spells, I have 1 Cosmic Cyclone. Back row is still a thing. And we have a lot of cards that float in the game, and you just don't want to deal with that. And 1 for 1 because I want to search out both Black Metal Dragon and Blacks on the Legend. This is another way of getting into your Baby Dragon. And this just because he's now like an MVP for the deck. Into traps. Now here's a phrase I don't think you probably ever thought I'd say. Triple Red-Eyes Fang with Chain. This card's actually really underrated. So how it works is, like Kunai with Chain, it's like an equipped trap. You activate it, it equips to one of your monsters, and it has the effect that number 1, your Red Eyes monster can attack twice on monsters in a battle phase, which isn't very important. But his more important effect is, with this being a trap, making a quick effect, you can target your opponent's effect monster, and then send this to grave and equip that effect monster to your monster. Your monster's stats become that new monster's stats. So any like attack gain or that doesn't matter. Now your monster's stats become that. So it's a kind of a cool way to get some quick removal. If you feel like your monster's about to get blown up anyway, why not just use this and take one of your opponent's monsters with it? And it has extra synergy with Slash Dragon, and I'll get to that later. Then my more traditional Red Eyes spell and traps. Return the Red Eyes and Red Eye Spirit. This is all about Red Eye shenanigans, getting them out the grave, special summoning them. This one's while it's continuous, it's more limited because it can only get normal monsters. But if it gets destroyed, it can get any. And then Red Eye Spirit can get us any Red Eyes, so it's really useful. And then, last but not least, the Solemn Brigade. Because, why not? They're more accessible than ever. So if you don't have them, get your copies now. And you'll never be mad that you have them. Into my extra. Now, I will say my extra deck isn't complete. I didn't bother putting in the link cards, because mainly I'm not good with them yet, so I couldn't really speak on all of their versatility. But I do have one card in here that kind of opens up your link options, and I'll talk about it more. So number 1 is Triple/Dragon. So we all thought he was very underwhelming, and he kind of is, but he's not that bad. If a card you control is targeted by a card effect, he can send an equipped card that's equipped to him to the grave and negate it. So he can kind of protect your board, something that Red-Eyes hasn't actually really had before. What makes him a bit more interesting is his effect says, if a Red-Eyes monster attacks, he can equip a warrior monster from your grave to himself. And he'll gain attack. So I think gains 200. It's kind of negligible, but it puts him at 3,000. Yeah, 200. So he puts him at 3,000. But more importantly, he can then send that equipped card to the grave to protect you from some like miscellaneous effect. And Red-Eyes is good at making big monsters, but these big monsters tend to die. So, speaking of death, he also floats, which I think is amazingly cool. When he dies, he can special summon any monsters that were equipped to him. So you might ask yourself, but how can he have monsters equipped to him outside of his attack effect, which equips a warrior? If you have good old Fang with Chain, you can switch it out with a monster and give him a second monster. Also, Black Metal Dragon, another monster you can equip to him. So he can, in a perfect world, he can bring back 3 monsters on his death. And of course, Black Metal Dragon can float, so it puts you in a decent situation. And so that's why I kind of said before, when you do open with Red-Eyes Fusion, you want to go for Slash Dragon if you also have this in hand. So on your opponent's turn, you can immediately kind of defend yourself a bit. Then 1 Comet Dragon. Well, as you saw, I only run the 1 impact, and he's just a powerful monster for the deck. He helps you get started by sending something to the grave, and that's really his entire use here. You're mainly trying to get this guy. And then my Xyz, I run 2 Red-Eyes Flair Metals. You can run 3. I haven't needed more than 2. It's just, as you know, it's just a really solid card for the deck. Though I will have to admit that in this build, you don't make him as much, and that's kind of a weakness. But I'm working on it. Then 1 big guy, and then this guy, Galaxy Tomahawk. So he's a rank 7, and he lets you fill your board up with tokens. That's just kind of how he works. So yeah, you heard tokens. Yes, that means link monsters. So in my trial build that I've tested, but I haven't gotten a whole lot of work out of, I run things like Proxy Dragon, Link Spider, and then Firewall Dragon. I imagine there's plenty of combos with that. I just don't know them well enough to talk about them. But I will show that this is a card that will help you make link monsters, so you can summon, multiple extra deck monsters at a time. Speaking of summoning extra, I should mention, he is a level 7 Red-Eyes, so he can be brought back from the grave with actually multiple effects. So, and he'll come to a main monster zone, not up here. So it's good to know. And that's all I've got for you guys on this Red-Eyes profile. If you know of any cool Red-Eyes combos with these cards, let me know. If there's something I don't know about the deck, once again, let me know. I'm still working with it, still trying to get it perfected. But I want this kind of to show it to you guys and get your opinions on it. So, that's really all I've got. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see maybe a theme duel, if you want to see even a combo video, which I'm not good at enough yet, hit the like button. Let us know you want to see more Red-Eyes. Better yet, instead of saying squad, say we want more Red-Eyes, all right?